In this video, we're going to look at recognizing patterns within Excel and then copying those patterns into other cells on your spreadsheet. We're going to begin by opening up our file. The name of that file is called Chapter 1, Patterns, Percentage of Total. So we've opened up our file. We want to make sure that we click on Enable Editing, which I've already done. And when we take a quick look at our file, we're going to see that there's a series of headings. The first heading being Product. And underneath that heading, there's two products listed, Products 1 and Product 3. There's a heading called Date, and there's two dates that are listed, 12/1, 12/11. In addition, we have a quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and 4. For those quarters, there's sales numbers listed. And there's a heading called Year Total for the product and also Percentage of Total. But we're going to begin by looking at our product or products. We have a product 1 that is listed in cell A4, and directly underneath that in cell A5, there's a product 3. Now, when we're looking at that pattern, and it is actually a pattern, we can see that the products are increasing by 2. So there's a product 1, product 3, and the next one would be product 5. Now we could go in there and just start typing out product 5 and then product 7. But the easiest way of doing that is to enable or allow Excel to recognize what that pattern is. So how you do that is by highlighting those two cells, product 1 and 3, coming over here to the fill handle, and the fill handle is on the lower right-hand corner. I get my mouse where you can see that there's a plus. Hold down the left mouse and drag down. And what we're going to see is that Excel recognized what that pattern was. It was an increase of 2, and it's filled in all the information. This is very useful because in the business world, time is money. Okay? And instead of having to type in that information, we allowed Excel to do it for us. Once again, I'm going to undo that and show you once again how I did that. I highlighted, held down the left mouse, product 1 and 3. This is the fill handle right here. By hovering over it, lower right-hand corner, there's a plus sign. Hold down the left mouse and drag it down. Let's start over here, or come over here to the date column. We have a date of 12/1 and then 12/11. If we were to take a guess at what that pattern is, it's increasing, or there's a difference of 10 days, 12/1 to 12/11, difference of 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back once again, and we're going to highlight 12/1 and 12/11. Come over to the fill handle. We have our plus sign. Hold down the left mouse and drag down. To do it once again, highlight 12/1 and 12/11. Come over here to the fill handle. We have a plus sign. Hold down our left mouse and drag down. So what we're doing is that we're allowing Excel to guess what that pattern is, that there's an increase of 10 days. Next, we're going to insert a few basic functions. And one of the most important of all Excel functions is the Autosum. There's two ways of doing this. We can highlight all the numbers that we want to autosum, or actually insert the Autosum function. We want to add them up together. One way of doing it, once again, is to highlight the numbers that you want to sum. Come over here on our ribbon, hit the down arrow, and click on Sum. There's now a number of 1,000. To check that formula, and this is just so important, we check the formula by quickly double left clicking. And by double left clicking, it's showing up here where it's saying equal sum. And we're going to be summing the numbers starting in cell C4. Colon means a range. So starting in C4 all the way to cell C13. Now I'm going to delete that. So I'm going to come over here, hit the delete key, and show you another way of using the Autosum. So I position my cursor in cell C14. So I want the answer to be in C14. I want to sum these numbers, but still another way of doing it is by coming up here, Autosum. Excel takes a guess what you want to do. And it's basically telling me that you want to sum starting in C4, colon means a range, all the way down to C13. That's what I want to do. Come up here to the check. We have 1,000. I want to check the computation. Quickly double left click. This is what we want to do. We want to autosum or sum from C4 to C13. Hit the escape key. Once again, now we want to copy that pattern across. And the easiest way of copying that pattern across is to come over here to the fill handle. We have our plus sign. Hold down the left mouse. And we're going to copy all the way to this point right here. It's 1,000s. There's a summation for all 4 quarters. I want to double check my computation here. Quickly double left click. And it's showing me that that pattern that I copied across by using the fill handle was able to compute summing F4 to F13, which is what we wanted to do. Let's come up to this point right here. We're going to position our cursor in cells G4. Autosum, sum. We want to sum this range from C4 to F4. Check mark. Quickly double left click to double check our answer. That's correct. Hit the escape key. Go to your fill handle. And we're going to copy that pattern down. I can quickly double left click here. And it's showing me that I want to sum from C13 to F13. That's correct. Come over here. Quickly double left click. I want to sum the range from C14 to F14. That is correct. Now let's do a little bit of formatting. These are all sales numbers for our products. Easiest way of doing that is by highlighting all of these numbers. We can hit this $sign, which is the accounting format. Or we can come up to the box right here, hit the down arrow, and sometimes people will rather have it formatted in the currency format. Very similar. The $sign comes right next to the numbers themselves. So I'm going to leave it there at the currency format. Next, we're going to compute a formula which we're going to determine the percentage of the total. Well, we're going to begin by coming down here where this 4,000 is. That's in cell G14. I'm going to click on the paint bucket. It's going to turn that cell into the yellow color where it's going to stand out. We're going to, once again, move our cursor up into cell H4. And what we want to do is we want to determine for each product what the percentage is of the total. The total being 4,000, which is in cell G14. Now, all formulas always begin with an equal sign. So we're going to hit equal. We're going to click on this first total. So it's in cell G4, divided by the total. And we're going to click on the total, which is in cell G14. And once again, look, we're using our mouse. We're not typing in G14 or typing in G4. Come up here, check mark. Let's format that as percentage. But before we do that, let's double check our formula. Quickly double left click, G4 divided by G14. That's correct. We're going to format it as percentage. We can move over here and increase our decimal. If we wanted to decrease, it would be over here. But we're going to increase it to 1 decimal place. We're going to come over to our fill handle and then copy that pattern down. Got our plus sign, hold down the left mouse, and drag down. And all of a sudden we're getting a message. It's an error message. Divide by 0. Now the easiest way of determining what that error is by going to the first instance of the error, clicking in that cell, H5, and then quickly double left clicking it. What we see is that the formula is G5 divided by G15. Now there's nothing in cell G15. That's why we're getting our error message. We can't divide by 0. In fact, what we want to be doing is to divide by G14. Let's come over here. G6 divided by G16. Well, there's nothing in cell G16. Come over here. This will be the last one that we can check, but quickly double left click. G7, that's right, divided by G17, but there's nothing in there. So what's happened here is that Excel took a guess at our pattern that we copied down. It's pretty close. However, this 4,000 was not locked in. That's where our problem is. The 4,000, that value that is in cell G14, needs to be locked in. It needs always to be in our denominator to get the right answer. So how we correct that is by coming up to our first cell, come up to the formula bar. So we're in this position right here. And how we're going to lock in that G14 is by hitting function key F4. Once again, it's function key F4. It is not typing in F and then 4. So it's function key F4. And by hitting function key F4, and you're going to notice there that there was kind of a delay. I have a new computer. I am using a Windows-based machine. And the function key F4 was not coming up right off. And I have to hit Fn and then function key F4. Now, the reason why I mention that is that for Macs, on a lot of Macs, it's you have to hit Command F4 or function F4. So you're going to have to kind of play around with that. But the main thing is to hit function key F4. By doing that, what's now happened is that we have a $G and a $14. Those dollar signs signify the fact that your denominator, that G14, has now been locked in. And we're going to see the effect of that. Hit the check mark. Once again, our formula is now showing G4 divided by $G, $14. Come to my fill handle. And copy that pattern down. If I come to the last one and quickly double left click, what you're going to see, it's now showing G13 divided by $G, $14. And what that signifies is the locking in of the value G14. That $4,000, which happens to be in cell G14, has now been locked in. Once again, this is such an important concept. I'm going to go back. I'm going to actually do it again. It's a formula, equal sign. 400, which happens to be in cell G4, divided by 4,000, which happens to be in G14. I want to make sure that that 4,000 is locked in. It's an absolute. And how you get an absolute or to lock in that cell is by coming up here and hitting the F4 function key. G4 divided by $G, $14. Those dollar signs signify that you've hit F4. You've locked that value in. Check mark. Go to your fill handle. You got your plus sign, hold down the left mouse and copy that pattern down. Last thing we're going to do is we have a title and a subtitle. We want to merge and center that title and subtitle. We're going to highlight from A1 to H1. So within that area, we want to merge and center that title. So the first step is always to highlight the area and then click on Merge and Center. We're going to take our subtitle and we're going to highlight from A2 to H2. And then we're going to click on Merge and Center. And we are all set. Thank you very much.